Good evening friends, you are most welcome to Think Eyes channel. Today we are going to discuss Practicing Anthropology by MAAN 003 MAAN IGNOU, and our topic is diverse arenas of practicing anthropology, in which we are going to discuss Unit 1 Multimedia, Unit 2 Disaster Management, Unit 3 Tourism. In introduction part we will discuss anthropology is intrinsically connected with various forms of communication. The tools and techniques of anthropology in terms of communicating messages extend to a wider range of application. The application is visual anthropology through multimedia extends to the promotion of ethnic tourism that rejoices the tourist. It also meets the cultural contingency of the humankind. The applied aspect of anthropology in disaster mitigation ranges from circulating warning, culturally acceptable signals as preventive and protective measures to providing solace to the victims of natural as well as man-made catastrophes in terms of response, relief, rehabilitation and reconstruction. Those anthropologists who use media as their research tools are expected to lay emphasis on the intricate processes of institutional interaction and cultural construction from pro-pupil perspective in their approach. The purpose is to contribute to public policies and surfacing the public to socio-cultural issues. They are expected to bring the issues to limelight contextually through print and electronic media by culturally constructed news events. Visual impact of ethnographic films on viewers generate a kind of awareness. For example, ethnographic films as a product of visual anthropology unmask the faces of culture and thus aim at communicating the reality at the grassroots. Thus, anthropology of mass media has been associated with applied dimensions of rising awareness among the people to change the present mindset. The existing prejudices are likely to move towards scientific inquiry. As such, practicing anthropology is grounded with a social responsibility to meet the people's hierarchy of need and target to offer some means of social security. Further, a wide range of educational input that requires a great deal of sensitivity can be appropriately absorbed. Some anthropologists of the contemporary era, popularly known as multimedia professionals, are of the opinion that combination of the two or more media instruments for the communication of masses such as text, image, art, sounds, animation, graphics, video and other interactive forms are now felt essential to bring anthropology closer to the concrete reality of people for all practical purposes. The holistic features of anthropology aptly manifest the traditional and the pictorial expression of socio-cultural issues that circulate the intended message among the community members till recently. The technological revolution in media frontiers has been able to record and display the intended information through content processing devices. Some of the modern devices are computers, laptops, etc., which can scan messages, hide vital facts, and reveal interesting events. The multimedia devices have multiple forms of information contents and information processing. Thus, its use in anthropology not only portrays visual anthropology alone, but also forms and important methods of study in anthropology to reconstruct and to deconstruct. An anthropology scholar can navigate and retrieve information stored in a combination of text, sounds, graphics, videos, and other media to meet the needs of civil societies. Therefore, multimedia assumes an instructive tool in which the user navigates for instructive technology purposes. One of the advantages of cyber world is the worldwide connectivity to millions of people across the spatial and temporal dimensions. Thus, computers give rise to the internet. The internet then recreates or redefines the multimedia systems, giving birth to new services like voice over internet protocols and internet protocol television. Hence, in a general multimedia system, there is a computer to coordinate what we see and hear and interact with. Then there are links that connect the information. Also there are navigational tools that let us transverse let, that let us traverse through the web of connected information. The computer is based on hardware and software of digitalized language processes and with specialized equipment. Software includes authoring languages, image handling software, and digital animation packages. Multimedia, when used for commercial purposes in tourism economy, assumes in advertisement, offering a platform for the recognition of ethnic icons seen as markers at the global level. Tour operators with anthropological training on cultural diversities can be profitable to empower the natives or to provide a pleasure media for the tourist to meet the delight of the tourist and facilitate the natives, the ethnic food plaza, and the delicacies for the tourist can be met. The tribal costumes, art, crafts, dress, ornaments, beer may intrinsic aesthetic value. Similarly, the feudal legacy in form of heritage contributes the tour economy to grow, and the role of anthropology in it has been very critical. While anthropologists help the tour industry to grow, it safeguards the interest of the ethnic groups too, who, unless and otherwise cared for, are likely to be marginalized rapidly. The tragic history of India reveals the loss of life and property. For example, the Bhopal gas tragedy, the Indian Ocean tsunami, and the Gujarat earthquake are a few globally known disasters that are still alive in the collective memory of the people. The hangover of dreaded events of recent past experienced by a few sections of population made practicing anthropologists morally responsible for the cause of humanity to offer their expertise. India is vulnerable to different kinds of disaster, both natural and man-made, such as earthquake, flood, famine, drought, river erosion and change of course of the river, forest fire, cyclone, landsliding, avalanches, high rate of humid, rise in temperature, industrial pollution, factory mishaps, adulteration in medicine, etc. The role of practicing anthropology has been to tap the indigenous knowledge and skill and use those as precautionary measures for human well-being. For any natural disaster to break out has premonition and are being manifested from the abnormal chirping of birds, movement of earthworms, unstable movement of rats, movement of fishes in river or sea, sound and movement of snakes and other lizards, barking of dogs, abnormal aerial movement of dragonfly, and their association with the movement of cloud, wind, and other celestial bodies like comets, etc. Disasters in the contemporary world are of different kinds. The role of indigenous knowledge in disaster mitigation and management has been much useful. For those apprehended and the victims, it is necessary to raise awareness in order to change of attitude and mindset, since there are certain cultural stimulants. The right way of motivational intervention is essential, else it might lead to cultural homicide. To assess the degree of participation, anthropologists depend upon the people to respond to the change agent. The media has demonstrative impact. The cultural anthropologist during situation of crisis can act as facilitator with the help of multimedia to bring effective help, like the use media of communication for social marketing on such issues. Practicing anthropologists take advantage of multimedia to contribute for the welfare and development of human culture and society. These three concerns, that is multimedia, disaster management and tourism, are the main areas of discussion in the three units by the same names in this block. These units try to bring out the benefits an anthropologist as a practitioner can offer in these diverse areas. Multimedia. First we will discuss introduction part, then we will discuss importance of multimedia, then we will discuss a brief history of the use of multimedia in anthropology. Then we will discuss using multimedia in studying anthropology. After that we will discuss multimedia in practicing anthropology, in which we will discuss project management, research skills, organization and representation of facts, data and findings, presentation of facts, data and findings, reflection skills. After that we will discuss practicing internet, building an online multimedia web community. After that we will discuss various profession of the practicing anthropologists. Overall we will discuss at the last summary. Learning objectives are, after going through this unit you will be able to understand what multimedia is, know what its role in anthropology is, know how vital it is in today's world of using technology in studying anthropology, and know how it can be used as a tool in different occupations by practicing anthropologists. Introduction part. In this lesson we will learn what multimedia is and how it is used in anthropology. Furthermore, this lesson will give us insight into various uses of multimedia in distinct avenues. With the help of anthropological skills, to begin we provide a description of multimedia and then proceed with an elaborate construction of different aspects of multimedia and anthropology. The lesson also mentions areas where anthropologists can practice multimedia as a professional medium. The learner should also take note that in this lesson we are primarily looking at multimedia uses in anthropology and not involving a discussion on visual anthropology alone, which also forms an important method of study in anthropology. The lesson proposes to look into the visual medium along with other mediums together, inducing an amalgamation of forms known as multimedia. Multimedia can be understood as a combination of two or more media such as text, image, art, sound, animation, video and other interaction or interactive content forms. It is a medium having multiple content forms. The term is used in contrast to erstwhile media which use only rudimentary displays such as text only or traditional forms of printed hand produced material, printed or hand produced material. Thus, multimedia is the media that uses multiple forms of information content and information processing. In today's world, multimedia is usually recorded, played, displayed, or accessed by information content processing devices such as computers, laptops, etc. According to Fred T. Hofstadter, multimedia is the use of a computer to present and combine text, graphics, audio, and video with links and tools that let the user navigate, interact, create, and communicate. 2001. Hence, for the instructive technology purposes, multimedia refers to computer-based systems that use associative linkages to allow users to navigate and retrieve information stored in a combination of text, sound, graphics, video and other media. A computer which can actually allow this navigation and retrieving is called a multimedia computer. Such computers should have a compact disc or digital versatile video disc read-only memory player to read and write. Such CDs and DVDs should support 8-bit to 16-bit waveform audio recording and playback, MIDI, sound synthesis and MPEG movie watching. It should have a fast enough central processor and a random access memory RAM large enough to play and interact with these media in real time, and last but not the least, a hard drive large enough to store the multimedia works that the user creates. The worldwide connection of millions of such computers give rise to the internet. The internet then creates or redefines the multimedia systems, giving birth to new services like voice over internet protocol and internet protocol television. Hence, in general multimedia system, there is a computer to coordinate what we see and hear and interact with. Then there are links that connect the information. Also, there are navigational tools that let us traverse the web of connected information. Finally, there are ways to gather, process, and communicate the information and ideas bid. Such multimedia system has two components with hardware and software. While hardware includes a variety of both basic and specialized equipment, software includes authoring, languages, image handling software, and digital animation packages. Thank you very much.